Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into this recent UK-EU reset.
That's right.
Specifically, there's this proposed youth mobility scheme that's catching a lot of attention.
Mhm.
Our mission today, really, is to unpack what this reset actually means, how it might impact young people, and maybe what it tells us about the bigger UK-EU picture. We've looked through the sources for you.
And I'm happy to be here to walk through it.
Great. So let's start big picture. This reset, it's an effort, right, to sort of mend fences after Brexit.
Exactly. Strengthening the relationship, focusing on key things like trade, defense, and yes, this youth mobility piece.
And the UK is looking to ease trade issues, get back into some collaborative programs.
That's the aim. Programs that were, well, easier to access before.
But why focus so much on youth mobility right now, given everything else going on?
Well, it's interesting. This scheme, it isn't just about, a nice cultural trip. It feels more strategic.
Strategic how?
It's like a long-term investment in re-anchoring the UK socially within Europe. It creates these chances for young people, typically 18 to 30, maybe even 35, to work, study, volunteer, travel,
Okay.
for limited time, of course.
Yeah.
The idea seems to be that this kind of soft power, these connections, might actually mend political gaps better than, say, just focusing on trade deals immediately,
Right.
rekindling essential ties.
Right. That makes sense. But, okay, for people listening who remember how things were, how is this different from something like Erasmus Plus, right?
Good question. Well, Erasmus Plus was primarily academic, university exchanges mostly.
Yeah.
This new scheme is designed to be much broader. It explicitly includes work and volunteering. So it's a more holistic view of what youth mobility can be.
Holistic meaning it covers more life experiences.
Exactly. It acknowledges that valuable exchange doesn't just happen in a lecture theater.
So what are the hoped-for benefits, then, for both sides, UK and EU?
Well, it's seen as a mutual investment, really. The UK wants to attract young talent, boost cultural understanding, enrich its own communities and economy.
And for the EU?
Pretty much the same benefits mirrored. It helps maintain those strong, long-lasting links, keeps a flow of different skills and perspectives coming in. It's about building for the future together.
Okay, sounds promising. But like any big plan, there must be challenges or criticisms, right? What are the sources saying about the hurdles?
Yeah, definitely. The main concerns seem to be around the uh, administrative side of things.
How so?
Instead of one big EU agreement like before, the UK might need bilateral deals with individual EU countries.
Ah, one by one. That sounds complicated.
It is. Tailoring visa pathways for each state is a big logistical job. And, some critics argue it's still not the same as full freedom of movement, which is true.
But generally seen positively.
Generally, yes. It's widely viewed as a significant positive step, even with those complexities.
And beyond youth mobility, this reset touches other areas too. You mentioned trade and defense earlier.
Absolutely. It's a broader push for cooperation. We're seeing agreements trying to lower trade barriers, particularly, it seems, in agriculture and energy.
Interesting. And defense.
There's definitely movement towards more collaboration there, too. Talk of the UK potentially joining some EU defense initiatives. It signals a pretty pragmatic approach to, well, shared security threats.
Okay, so lots of moving parts. How is all this landing back home domestically in the UK? I imagine it's not a simple picture.
No, definitely not simple. Reactions are, well, mixed. You've got many who welcome more collaboration. They see the economic benefits that boost international standing.
Hmm.
But others are more cautious. Concerns about sovereignty haven't gone away. Worries about getting perhaps too close again. It's a really nuanced debate, reflecting different ideas about the UK's place in the world.
Understood. So what happens next? What are the immediate steps to make this reset more concrete?
The main focus now seems to be hammering out the final details for that youth mobility scheme.
Hmm.
Eligibility, how to apply, all that practical stuff.
Uh-huh.
And alongside that, just continuing the talks in those other areas, trade, defense, to make sure things are implemented effectively.
So wrapping up this deep dive, it really shows a significant shift, doesn't it? An evolving chapter in UK-EU relations. Maybe more focus on collaboration over division now.
It certainly looks that way.
So here's a thought for you listening. Considering this renewed focus on youth mobility, on cooperation across different areas, what might that suggest about the future of international relationships generally, especially in a world where, Information and people move so fast.
That's a great question. It really highlights how, even after major political shifts, investing in those person-to-person connections, that cultural exchange, can be a powerful long-term way to rebuild bridges. It's about nurturing future ties, even when the political winds change.
A powerful thought indeed. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope it gives you plenty to think about as you explore the stories shaping our world.
My pleasure.
Until next time, goodbye.